Is Oscar gonna make it, or is he all right?
He's dying.
Yeah. I had pneumonia, and I was on here, so yeah. Man up.
Oh wow.
True.
Wait till he gets back there. He hear that.
I'll tell him. I don't give a shit. He's in fucking Florida. If he's in Little Rock, with it, I might not say something. I don't know.
And that will be the show intro.
SCU. You are now listening to Shoutouts. Uncut. Prepare to be shattered with your hosts, Matt Baldwin, Skullface, Greg for Mercy, Oscar NJ Boy, T2RX6, Mega 81. Welcome to Shattered Cast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Shattered Cast Uncut. We're now 35. We're not really sure if we're going to make it to 70. We just had our first prostate exam and bought a car that we couldn't afford, and now we're developing a drinking problem as we start our midlife crisis. And with me today is the usual cast of delinquents, starting with the man who just got done banging your girlfriend and your sister at the same time, Mr. Antoine Mega 81. How you doing tonight?
What's going on, people? How you doing?
And following up right behind him is your favorite Hasbro junkie, running all the way over to say, "Hail Hasbro," as you breathe your last breath. Matt, how are you tonight?
I'm good, but I'm not running anywhere because I'm fat. Thank you.
I thought you said you were working out. You just told us before the show you were working out.
He's full of chocolate.
It's been 2 days. It's only been 2 days.
You even said that you think you could beat TJ Duckett in a race. I heard it.
He said beat TJ Duckett in the face. Not in a race.
Yeah, especially when he's like he is now, full of chocolate and marshmallows.
He said beat TJ Duckett at a cake.
Yeah, I could beat a cake. That's probably it.
It's Skype. Yeah.
Anyway, coming up behind Matt, we have the one person who you can't tell if he loves you or hates you. He'll just troll you anyway. Greg for Mercy.
If anybody's wondering about Justin doing the intro, he's like Family Guy Spider-Man. Or it's like Family Guy Spider-Man, everybody gets one.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, he's doing good, too.
Yeah. He is doing good.
And as we approach this Halloween season, everybody's running out to get their very own Skullface mask so we can have Skullface Con 2014 up in Chicago. The one and only Mr. Bobby Skullface.
How's everybody doing tonight? If pictures were leaked of Jennifer Lawrence and she happened to be naked in them and they happened to make it their way to my phone, I would be looking at them right now.
Gotta send you a text, bro. Hold up.
And I am filling in for Oscar, who is feeling under the weather, but is still joining us at least as long as he can, because he's sick, because he had to travel all the way to Cybertron to ask all your questions. So, Oscar, how you feeling, buddy?
I've been better. I think I'm pregnant. So, and it's Greg's.
Not for nothing, that fucking world was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If you have not seen it, please go to the Shattercast YouTube page. It's a Shattercast YouTube exclusive, and keep the questions coming because the world needs more questions always. So
I'm gonna have to inventory the questions soon because they got out of control there in the beginning, and I don't want to lose any of them. Get like a master list going.
Thank God for screenshots. Let me just tell you that. Jesus.
Let me give. Oh, you haven't introduced yourself, sir.
Yep, I am, of course, T2RX6, and I'm here as always. So, hello.
Let me give a quick update for the GoFundMe. GoFundMe, as far as my shipping information, it is still supposed to be this Friday that we receive the apparel. So,
for all
anybody
you
in the
that's today, by the way.
Yeah, anybody in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Baltimore Comic Con is this weekend. I will have a table there, table 117. No big deal. Come by.
Go kick his ass.
Right, come kick my ass too. I might have a few goons with me though, so come heavy. Come by, check me out, and we'll hang out or whatever. Definitely come by Baltimore Comic Con. But the reason why I say that is because I'm going to be there all weekend, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to inventory all of the Shattered Cast apparel. However, I plan on doing it as I can throughout the weekend, and I plan on getting them in the mail Tuesday at the latest is my goal. We'll see how that shakes out. But by next week, I will have them shipped out, and I will have a post on the Facebook page giving you our checks and balances. So
Nice.
Very nice. So, starting the usual fashion, anybody get anything aside from horrible sickness this week?
Yeah, I start off. I'm sorry. I start off. I got the MMC talent in, and
I hate you.
Yeah, right.
By the way, the Bring Back Our Talent actually worked with BBTS. We didn't hear anything from TF Source, but BBTS did respond to my Bring Back Our Talent.
Oh,
Well, that's good because I'm going to miss my nephew terribly. I promised him a fresh shipment of blood to drink.
and
What'd they say?
Well, just they're expecting it this week, so, or
I think
this
that's
next
what they've
week.
been saying since last December.
Probably, but at least they responded. The point is they responded to the Bring Back Our Talent, so
Yeah,
which
that
is
is
more
awesome.
than TF Source did. So
Thanks to everybody
saying.
that participated. So what else you get,
I
Antoine?
I got the fan project Columpio, and it's a good figure, but out the box it has some issues. Unfortunately, from fan project of all people.
Right.
Sancho Barbosa.
So you guys said
Well, just to piggyback off that, I got Columpio as well, and he's a good figure, but I will probably say he's the figure that has come with the most QC issues of any fans project toy I've ever bought, with the exception of Defender.
yeah.
But that being said, he's still a good figure. It's just, fans project, whether they want to be or not, is placed on kind of a pedestal in my eyes anyway. And this one didn't quite do it. It's really close, but it's just, there's like some careless things that I was like, fans project did this? But anyway, and I also got DX9's Splinter or Wreck-Gar, and Status Quo. If you like Salmore, you'll like him. And that's all I got.
Oh, I got that horrible tank order figure too.
Yeah, I tried to cut you off before you could even say that shit.
Well, I saw that in the store. I saw that and I laughed at it and threw it back on the shelf and walked away.
I got a huge box from WK Toys where I got the Orion, Nemesis Orion.
Nice.
I got the Toy World Hegemon back,
Yay.
which feels infinitely better than the first time I bought him, fucking 2 years ago. Good God. The blackhead doesn't fit that well. And I also got Sancho Barbo, which the motherfucker drew blood the day out of the box. So
Oh yeah.
I'm taking a nail file of that motherfucker.
Dude, I am, no lie, I am doing the review this week for that one, and when I filmed it, I stabbed myself hardcore with it. Like, I had to cut that part and retake it again, because that was a bad stabbing.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to put that in the outtakes. Got to put that in the outtakes.
And I got also a Classics Prowl I'm going to customize by changing the color of his horns. So that makes me an official customizer now. So look out. I'm knocking dudes off the box. So we're calling ourselves Just Good Enough Designs. And expect some exclusive shit to hit eBay soon. And I also bought a Generations Tankor, which my nephew looked at and did not like, which my girlfriend has called Generations Tank Ape or Ape Tank. And so if my girlfriend, my wife, wow, that's going to get me.
I was going to say, what did your wife call it then?
For the record, I'm like at 102 fever, but this is dedication.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, we've had one member do it with 102 fever and one member do it with pneumonia. So...
It's hardcore, man.
Let's see what happens when Greg gets that herpes outbreak. He's gonna stick it out or not.
Wait, no, hold on. I did the chat 102 fever. That counts for something, right?
There you go.
Yeah, you barely see these keys on my Samsung Galaxy S5.
I guess my turn.
I got S3. What are you talking about?
I only got two things. I got AOE Lockdown. Finally, my wife got it for me.
I'm so sorry.
I really appreciate it. I like it. I may be doing a review on it. Who knows? Which I have started doing reviews. Thank y'all. I got done my first one. And I got Storm from the Marvel Legends thing. So I just need Magneto, and Jubilee will be complete.
Did not realize they were Transformers. Just saying.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter. I just want to take this moment. I want all of us to give Matthew a big round of applause because that was a really good review for his first time out.
Great, thank you. I was excited about it.
I'm very proud of you. We found your niche. So
now, review, not a video review. So don't go.
No, I put it in there. I put there not a video review, but I got to start somewhere. So.
And if anyone would like to see Matt actually try to defend a Transformer in a review, send it our way. Put it in on our Facebook chat or something, or in the comments, like Transformers you want to see Matt try to defend with a review, because I think that that'd be, he's the biggest Hasbro fan, so who better to try to defend it?
Yeah. Oh, bring him on.
So Greg,
that's a great idea.
Greg, you get anything?
I did, and I always falter at this part because I forget stuff. So I'm looking around. I'm going to start with the bad, and then I'll get to the good. I got a knockoff G2 Masterpiece Sideswipe because certain people keep praising this knockoff. It took me 2 days, a little bit of blood, a little bit of sweat, a little bit of tears, and a lot of luck. But I got the thing presentable. I got a Fans Project Shrapnel to replace the ones that I sold. Let's see, what else did I get?
Official, or is it a knockoff?
It's a knockoff. It's just a display, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I'm not going to pay $100 for a fucking figure I paid $40 for to begin with. I got that Wreck-Gar. He's pretty solid. He's actually really solid. He's growing on me a lot. I hope they do other Junkions. Let's see. Oh, and I picked up some. I didn't really get this for myself, but I picked up some figures in the store for a few people, and one of them happened to be that tank form. And man, that's a sorry fucking piece of shit of a figure. I have the Beast Machines. I actually have the Beast Machines Happy Meal toy from like 99 or whenever it came out. And that's a better fucking Tankor than the new one that just came out in the Generations line. It's got better plastic and almost better articulation.
Good God. You know what's better than that figure? Armada Sideswipe, which I have.
Yeah.
And I'm prouder to admit that than that fucking Tankor.
Mm-hmm. That's a questionable decision.
I got some Joes, but this isn't a Joe podcast. But it could be if you guys want it to be.
Should be. I think it should be. Listeners, chime in. I got nothing except my expensive air conditioner and a broken gas line in the process. So, yeah.
Damn.
Pretty awesome. So,
$16,000 was spent.
So that's Transformers related. You're
transformed me into a poor person.
Transformed into
a poor person.
Transformed me into welfare.
Yay! What?
Anyway, let's just move on to the third-party stuff so I can try to kill my depression with toys that I can't afford thanks to an air conditioner. So the first thing we got was that?
Oh, breaking news. Sorry to interrupt, but Wulong Toys is now following us on Facebook. We've hit the big time. Or not Facebook, on Twitter.
Wulong Toys and Fake Busker.
Big time.
Busker, my boy, my brother from another mother. We're tight.
Indeed. So anyway, back to the third-party news. Bold Form, or Nazi Form, or whatever you want to call them, has released wildfire images, a.k.a. breakdown. So we were all wrong that the limbs and stuff of the Menasor look like they are going to transform. I'm personally not convinced that I actually want them to transform, because I don't think this looks good. Anybody else?
Looking forward to the Hasbro release.
Didn't they compare that to the Hasbro?
Yep. Antoine put it in our feed, man, and fucking, that Hasbro's looking sharp.
Well, here's the thing. If it was any other group, it'd be an easy pass for me, but I know myself, and I'm going to end up fucking getting this.
Man, you're
a Stunticon fan, too. I mean, if you wasn't a Stunticon fan, would you get them?
No.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, I understand that.
Yeah, I love the fucking Stunticons. I'm not going to be able to say no to this.
Right.
I
Well, I
can
put on
say
Mr. Potato Head for Starscream, so that's how low I'll get for a Starscream. So.
You know what though? I think a Mr. Potato Headed Starscream looks more like Starscream than this does Breakdown. this looks
I just
like
don't.
this
The
looks
panels on his arms, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's like, to me, I see like Lego Bionicle type thing with like some car parts strapped on them. Like this, I don't know. It's too skeletal. It's weird.
It looks really, really fragile.
Oh, it does. It looks bad.
I
know it looks bad. Okay,
He looks retarded.
He's trying to come to terms.
You know what figure looks like he has better articulation than him? AOE Lockdown has better articulation.
I know it's bad. Oh my god, it's terrible. And guess what? I'm gonna have it. I'm probably gonna have it. I'm gonna wait till it goes on clearance if it's under $50. I mean, if it's over $50, I'm gonna wait for it to go on clearance. But I really want this.
Is it gonna be on the island, or is it gonna be in your collection?
It's gonna be on the island. There's no doubt about it. Just right next to the BotCon set. I just can't fucking help myself, man. I'm a fucking sucker for these characters.
The quote on his freaking bio car is gonna say, "Please kill me. I can see myself digesting."
And Bobby's gonna come on
in like a really nice fucking plexi case, and it's gonna be sitting outside of his fucking front door like a lawn gnome.
Exactly, and he's gonna come on the podcast. Hail Bold Form, like I see it now. And he's going to start writing these reviews online defending Bold Form toys. I don't know. I don't like where this is going.
He's got to have Hail Bold Form tattooed on the inside of his lip. That's the bitches. Hail Bold Form, right, Matt? Hasbro, bro.
I don't know why they would put all that nonsense in the chest.
I don't either, because you could just easily look at the G1 toy even and go, okay, we just need these lines right here, very simplistic shape.
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and
going for
put paint
a pretty
on.
simple look anyway. Like the Motor Master is like a billion times more simple than this.
Right.
I don't know why they wouldn't just try to. If I was them, I would try to cash in on the cartoon look.
It looks
simple rectangles on top of rectangles.
It looks like a Bayverse fan on PCP designed this fucking chest.
You do raise, like, when you say the Bayform thing, it's exactly how it is. Like, Motor Master is very much slavish to the G1 toy turned modern articulation. And then there's this, and it's like, this is like having a collection where you're like, yeah, that movie Breakdown, he fits right in with the Fans Project, Motor Master. You're like, that's what this looks like in terms of their own aesthetic. So it doesn't even make any sense to me. It's pretty horrible. I think we should move on. Okay. We're moving on. Yeah. All right, so remember that SXS blur that we talked about all those long episodes
ago? They got a test shot.
Yeah, so now that we finally got a test shot of this guy, and he's still blur. Bobby, you said you were in on this, or you think you're in on this, right?
I was in on this before I had continuously variable, which was for those who aren't in the know, is their Gears, and before I had Gears, they showed like this was coming next. I think it was on the box maybe, and I was like, yeah, like I need a blur in my life. Well, the SXS is a piece of shit. The fucking continuously variable, a piece of shit. Like it is without a doubt the worst third-party toy I have ever bought. That is bigger than that is over 3 inches. It's a piece of shit.
Really? Worse than those damn Impossible Toys Tetra Jets?
Oh,
really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I think so.
You do have yours still. I need you to send it to me. I need to see it myself.
Yeah, I can send it to you. All right, next time I see you, are you coming up this weekend? By the way, are you gonna make a stop by? Because I can give you your shirt.
Are you gonna bring the butt plug? By the way,
we'll see.
Don't be jelly. Don't be jelly, bro.
No one does in Florida. Around everybody.
But this, I don't think this looks bad. I really don't, but at the same time, I didn't think that the fucking Gears looked bad either, and I'm willing to go in on this, but I need a reputable reviewer to review it first that has absolutely no sponsorships, because I've fallen for that shit before.
Yeah, I think it looks better than the Gears. Like, I think the sculpting of pretty much every piece looks better, so my only hope is that they unique toys it and turn it from, the first one really was a learning curve, and then subsequently releases have been dead solid,
Yeah, Is this the blur that when he transforms into a vehicle that it's got the holes on the side where his arms
Yes.
transform?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I don't think
actually doesn't really bother me.
Yeah,
Like-
I would like them if they were a little further in, but I don't.
Sure.
I don't think that it's worth taking away too many points from it because it's very much. It is so evocative of Blur that
Yeah.
I can
I mean,
look
do you
past
think
that.
this really looks like Blur? I mean, I just don't see Blur in this picture. I mean, I
Really?
don't know. I just don't. I mean, it's just me, I guess. I mean, but I just don't see Blur in that picture.
Huh. I definitely see Blur.
I see Blur.
I see a robot that says "flush me."
Oh my god.
What was the line of comics that IDW had that was like the Spotlight comics? Is that what
Spotlights.
is that what Blur looked like in the Spotlights?
Not in this, no.
All right.
He looked like Blur in the Spotlight. I mean, he looked, like the G1 Blur.
Okay. Well,
Look,
oh, wait.
just look-
Matt. All right. He's gonna be blue.
I know that. God damn it, dude. I'm
And then-
sorry.
Hey, I just
Y'all act like I'm so
Look,
retarded when
like
I'm talking
drift.
about third party shit, man. Y'all just act like I have no fucking clue to what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah, Greg,
blue.
Greg just made a really valid point. He took the words right out of my mouth.
What was it?
Greg, did he enter the vortex?
I think he entered the vortex.
Probably muted himself by accident.
It says if you look at him, if you just squint your eyes hard enough, he looks like Drift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
so based on Blur and Drift, and Matt's saying that he doesn't see Blur, do you? Okay, this is a loaded question, I'm sure. Do you own? Do you own the Generations Blur? The
I do.
Drift-based one?
That's my favorite mold. Really.
Not you,
Yes.
not you, Matt.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, I do.
And that's Blur enough for you.
It may not be blurred enough for me, but I don't see this being blurred enough for me.
I don't get it. I don't.
That may not be blur enough for him, but that Armada blur, no, that's blur.
I like the blur.
So speaking of things that I don't understand, we're gonna move on to the KFC, KTC, whatever, Slugfest
God, I
and
wish they go out
Overkill.
of business.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still coming apparently, and I'm glad I unpre-ordered that stuff. What, like 6 to 8 months ago now?
I have this pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
I've had it now. I've had it pre-ordered since KFC was still kind of in limbo, and actually they're back in limbo for me, to be quite honest. But
Jesus Christ.
there he is.
There we go.
The Vortex
Fucking
gets you good.
Skype tonight.
But I think this looks like more of the same, except I'm seeing a lot more hinges than ball joints.
Yeah, I got it. I do have to say, I do think that the Overkill looks pretty cool in his dinosaur mode.
Well, thank God, because I was worried. I thought it was the Fever, because he was looking pretty sweet enough for me to pre-order.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is the type of thing, and I did drop the pre-order because I was disappointed with Squawk
Everything?
Talk and whatever else. No.
Everything.
Sencho
No, I'm saying
is
everything
good
that they
and
put out.
everything that his tape that they put out, I've been
Right.
disappointed with. The larger figures I've enjoyed, but yeah, I don't know. Like the other thing is that these are real cheap ways to get the extra minions for my Soundwave that aren't currently out. So as much as I don't want to, I'll probably get them again. But currently they're not pre-ordered for me. But Overkill's looking sweet.
That would be cool if Masterpiece would put that out the rest on like Overkill and Slug.
I don't understand why they don't, because it feels like they would be like super limited engineering things they need to do compared to their full-scale things that everybody would eat up, Like the Masterpiece collectors would just make a grab for them. So.
Well, you saw what they did with Rat Bat. You know how everybody wanted Rat Bat that bad. I mean, they would definitely want, especially had the combiner ones too, the Slam Dance and all those. I mean, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But,
I'll tell you what I didn't want. That damn KFC fucking Rat Bat. It was a fucking piece of shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have that thing.
Well, I love like
hey, I have it too. I have the other one. I have the fucking Halloween one.
I love listening to RFC. And shout out to Diecast. Diecast was on made a few comments last week's show, but I love listening to that because, like, like a Kilby and them are like anti third party these days. But but Kilby would be like anti third party and then buy the worst fucking possible third party toy out. Like, he'd be like, "Yeah, third party sucks. Look at it," and he shows the KFC Rat Bat. I'm like, "Well, of course." You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you're getting to represent the fucking, that genre, so to speak, then.
Well, now, yeah, let's not lump all third party together like
exactly.
people lump, like Shapeways designers.
Shapeways.
Shapeways.
Shapeways. And we interrupt this regularly scheduled program for a special interview with some gentlemen that we have tonight, and that is Duan.
Hello.
And he is responsible at Shapeways for making awesome shit happen. That's like his official title over there. And he's been making this situation between Hasbro and the Shapeway designers kind of happen. He also brought 2 designers with him tonight. Ariel, who you all may know better as Fake Buster.
What's up, everyone?
And Christian, who you may know as Wulong Toys.
How's it going, everybody? Glad to be here.
And Christian has the whitest voice ever for an Asian man. So I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. We are very appreciative. It's a hot topic right now in the community, and everybody's kind of talking about it, and it doesn't really seem to be any kind of black and white details that are coming out. Everybody's like, not sure what it means for the upcoming products. Every time we click on a link, it's always a My Little Pony piece that they're showing. So I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. And I don't want to take up too much more of your time, so if it's okay, I'd like to get right down to business. And we're going to open this up to all 3 of you, each question. But our first question tonight is, was this a venture, we can start with Duan since he's kind of the, what did you call yourself, the mediator?
I'm the designer evangelist at Shapeways. So it's my role to make, to enable designers to make what they want using 3D printing.
Cool. Yeah, I think he said this. He's like responsible for the speed dating.
Yeah, speed date designers and brands.
So, was this a venture that started with Shapeways approaching Hasbro, or was it Hasbro approaching Shapeways?
Okay, we've been looking to enable designers to make what they want using existing IP for a long time, and we've talked to a lot of brands, a lot of IP holders, but Hasbro were the ones to approach us in the end, and they were very fast to move, and they're very open-minded. So it was really Hasbro who approached Shapeways for this exact project.
Did you, as soon as they approached you, did you have a couple designers in mind that you wanted to immediately kind of get the ball rolling with, or?
Yeah, as soon as they showed interest, we sort of scoped out the brief of what they were looking to do first, and we immediately had like 5 people who were doing My Little Ponies we could reach out to straight away and get them onto the project. But then the idea was to use that as a test case for our first launch, and then move on to other brands such as Transformers, G.I.Joe, Dungeons & Dragons, Dragon Veil, Scrabble, and Monopoly. So when they mentioned Transformers, I knew who to go to straight away with Fake Buster and Wulong Toys, because they're some of the leading ones in Shapeways. So my role was kind of to, as soon as we're ready to launch, is to look at who is already doing great work on Shapeways and then bring them into the super fan art stable, basically.
Gotcha. Now, just to round out this question, what was your guys' reaction about hearing this news to Fake Buster and Wulong Toys?
I guess I'll go first.
Sure.
At first, I was very excited. I mean, I'm still excited. When I heard that Hasbro was going to be teaming up with Shapeways, mainly because I've been making use of their IP for years now. And obviously, I've just been kind of a ticking time bomb waiting for them to send me a cease and desist or something. And so to find out that Hasbro was going to be teaming up with Shapeways and going to be expanding beyond simply the My Little Pony stuff to include Transformers and G.I.Joe and all these other great brands, it provides me with the opportunity to have some legitimacy to my designs. So I'm no longer, an unofficial, IP infringing third party. Now I've have the opportunity to have some like official Hasbro endorsement.
I gotcha.
I think what Christian has just said is pretty similar to what my thoughts are. And I like to emphasize that while we were doing this before Super Fan Art, we have been hiding behind like pseudonyms and
Right.
fake names and everything, and now we can like come open and like name the figures we are designing the proper names and legitimacy.
Right.
That's the term that Christian used, which I felt was very apt. And at least we won't be fearing for our lives or for our finances. Like they hire some bounty hunters to find us something.
So it was like a relief.
It is a relief, and for me, since I have a very close relationship with Hasbro all my life, it felt good to give it back in a way, because it is their IP after all. So it's great to return something that's old.
And it's wise of Hasbro to recognize that this content's being generated and being consumed and sold anyway. So why not legitimize it? Why not work with it rather than fighting it? Because a lot of companies, a lot of brands will just send in cease and desist notices or DMCA's takedown, and it just stops there. But Hasbro are very smart to see the value in that. There's an opportunity. There's value for their brand that's not being used, and so if fans are going to make it happen, then why not let them make it happen?
I totally agree.
Well, and that kind of leads to what I wanted to ask. Why do you think? I mean, this stuff's been printed for years at this point.
Yep.
Why do you think they waited until now? Like, why do you think they've waited so long to embrace this?
I think it's about having the right team in Hasbro and the right understanding of the marketplace. They did the research for a long time. Like, they've been looking at this for a long time to understand the best way to approach this. And so now the time is right. The materials are right. They've got the people who can understand the complexities of dealing with 3D printing and with fan-based art. And it's all come together now. And it's also from the CEO down. So the CEO understands that fans are making stuff, that 3D printing is viable as a product manufacturing process. So the timing is right.
Gotcha. To Fake Buster and Christian, was there any thought? I'm trying to be careful how I word this up, but
don't worry, just ask.
Okay, have you guys, just to tie back into that question, because I want to, a lot of these questions, it seems like are going to be aimed more at Dewan and just incorporate you two into it. Like, have either of you ever been contacted by a third-party company to design work for them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now with this happening, would that affect you working with these companies?
Definitely.
It certainly puts us more under Hasbro's microscope. It makes us. It's kind of like, sitting outside of Mordor and having, the eye of Sauron looking at you.
Hasbro keeps becoming this like villain in all of these metaphors. But go ahead.
So, well, no, I mean, I don't mean to villainize them.
I know.
But yeah. I mean, obviously, at becoming involved with them, getting into bed with them, so to speak, it definitely makes them aware of us.
Right.
More so than they would have been before. By agreeing to what they want us to agree to, and by taking part in the super fan art, program.
Right.
That's going to open us up so that they're going to maybe take a look at what haven't you submitted to the super fan art? What else is in your shop?
Sure.
What else is available? Will that keep me from participating with another third-party company? Probably not, because what I produce for them, will just be exclusive for them. It's not like I'll be putting it on my Shapeways shop, because it'll be an entirely different set of circumstances, different ball of wax.
Right. I gotcha. Do you think that this may be this kind of leads into that a bit, but do you think that this may be the beginning of Hasbro licensing transformable toys to other companies? Or do you think this is still, that would be a very premature kind of statement to even consider?
I think it is too early to tell because the situation is evolving now. And there are many precedents we have to set in stone first. Like how to approach having this large population of fans creating designs. What the term I like to use was the democratization of design. Did I say it right? Like a lot of artists now have the power to fabricate stuff, but how do you control it, or how do you guide them without being overbearing, but not let them walk all over you? So there is this balance that Hasbro has to learn how to achieve, and we are still trying to work it out, I guess. I think Duan will have a better answer for that.
Yeah, that's right. That's why, like, for now, Hasbro will vet every design that comes through to be approved by Superman Art. So it's like brand elasticity. So we don't want, things which go into hate speech or putting genitals on every single design. That ain't going to work. So we need to make sure that it's within the bounds of the Hasbro brand, but still enough flexibility to make it so it's, it's fresh and new and exactly what you guys want to make.
Right. Do you... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to put in point B, which is for 3D printing in terms of technology. We still have some ways to go before we can, print a Devastator, something huge. Because if you look around now, there's an upper limit to what we can print, and in terms of complexity and size, because it will get too expensive and not very feasible for us. So that's the other thing you got to look at, the technology.
Real quick before I let Greg ask the next question, you guys have mentioned a few times now that there's some constrictions in a way of, and now obviously size is one of them, but outside of size, is there constrictions that you guys have to be more aware of now, just to the designers, in working with Hasbro, in terms of safety or any of the, those things that the main line would have to consider?
Not really. As far as what we're producing on Shapeways, we don't have to change anything because of the Hasbro agreement, because all of the terms and conditions are still in place for Shapeways, which says that, technically speaking, these things are not toys, regardless of what we're modeling them to look like.
Right.
They're basically, they're tchotchkes, they're curiosities. So we don't really have to all of a sudden start conforming to safety guidelines or anything like that. The Hasbro is just going to be making sure that that it fits within their content guidelines.
Gotcha.
However, there are other limitations simply for designing for Shapeways that we would have to consider that we wouldn't necessarily have to consider for if we were designing something for mass production. Say for injection molding. And that would be things like, regardless of how awesome our design is on our computer, the last hands to touch it are going to be our customers. In the final step of production, I can't really produce a transforming figure that they can just order, take it out of the box, and start playing with it. What I produce on Shapeways is basically model kits. And add-on parts, and everything is going to require that level of commitment from my customer to sand it or to paint it or even simply to assemble it. So there's definitely those limitations that must be considered when designing for Shapeways.
Gotcha.
Well, that was.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that was going to be the question I was going to ask. I know you have the limitations, and especially having to paint, and a lot of people may be interested in these items that just don't have the skill or what they're scared to paint them. With Hasbro kind of behind you, I don't claim to know a lot about the materials, I know you offer some color options now. I mean, do you see like more color options to kind of like lessen the, I guess, customization that people will have to do?
We're just like, this is Joanne from Shapeways. We're just trialing full color plastic at the moment. It's not a perfect material, but it's pretty interesting in that you can put any sort of CMY color on there at the moment. So you can do a part with 64 colors and it's fine. So
Nice.
if we can improve the quality of that material, then at some point we have pretty complex parts with full color, and you'll be able to then. It'll still take assembly for ball joints because you can't print a ball joint with compression.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but apart from that, we'll get there.
Ariel, I apologize for cutting you off. I didn't mean to. I just thought that was good to throw into this particular topic because it kind of goes hand in hand with what you guys were talking about. So I apologize.
No, don't worry about it. I was just about interject saying, talking about safety aspects. I think it's still a necessary consideration when we are designing, not just for injection molding, but also for shapeways. Because even though our buyers are not kids, you don't want them cutting themselves, even though he's like a 30-year-old man child. I once did blades for RC, and those things are sharp enough to draw blood. I pricked myself a couple of times trying to paint things. So, and I know a few of my buyers, they cut themselves too. So, something to look out for, So
Yeah.
that's
Well, a lot of these nerds could fend to have their fingers toughen up a little bit anyway. So maybe you're doing them a good service.
Oh, that's.
do you guys see this more of a? This is a sensitive question, maybe, but do you guys see this more of, in terms of the partnership, a situation where Hasbro is teaming up with the designers and kind of reaping the benefits of it, or vice versa, where the designers are reaping the benefits of the deal? Like, who's getting the bigger end of the stick here, do you guys think?
If I guess I can go. Obviously, there's pros and cons. And there's definitely wins on both sides. For the designers, I mean, this is stuff that we've been doing all along. It's just now we're not going to get in trouble for it. And then on top of that, we gain exposure because the stuff that we do that gets approved by Hasbro is going to be put onto their superfanart.com site and featured by them and promoted by them, as well as on Shapeways. So it gives us some notoriety. It gives us some more eyeballs looking at us, and it's something that can go on our resumes, and in our portfolios. For Hasbro's end of things, they really don't have to do any work at all, and they get all of these great designers coming up with new ideas for them without them having to pay for it. So it's kind of like a free labor force for them in some ways, or a free idea testing ground for them.
Right.
Hey, but if they use my idea, I'll be more than happy to contribute. Hey, take it for free. I don't mind. Like bragging rights, something.
Sure.
The thing is, at this point, we're just doing the first rounds of testing, and there's
Right.
been absolutely no marketing dollars put against this yet at all. So once we've established this and understand how this is going to work, make sure the designers are happy, make sure Hasbro's happy, make sure Shapeways is happy, make sure we have viable products which are looking good and ready to sell, then we'll start marketing, and then we'll see the influx of volume, which will be far beyond what we can see through normal, a DeviantArt and Shapeways sort of volume of eyeballs. Because something like within the first 6 days of this project, we got 9 million impressions.
Wow.
And that's with on all the press that went out, and that's without any marketing spend. So if we can start, and that's about the IP story, not about the actual products themselves. So once we start looking at how we can market against the products themselves, I'm sure we'll see some significant traffic come towards those those products.
Very cool. Greg.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was. I'm trying to get my drive to open back up. I'm having issues. I think drive in general is
messing up. Well,
it's messing up. No.
Okay,
I'm
you good?
good.
All right.
So I'm assuming, and I kind of missed some of what you were just saying once, because like I said, I was having some issues. And this might be a touchy one, but Hasbro has been in their media, their media releases. They haven't been talking a lot about it, but they're making it. You know, they're calling it super fan art, and they're reaching out to the fans. Obviously, you know, they're going to be getting something out of it, as well as the designers. But do you think that they're really reaching out to the fans, or they're just trying to get their hands into another part of the market?
I think they're aware that there's a need that they can't fulfill doing traditional manufacturing. So what they want to do is to enable that to happen by itself, and then just like to make sure the brand isn't compromised while people are doing that. So if there's no way for them to help make it happen, they'll just not get involved. But because there's a way to make it happen and make sure that the quality is there, because you have Shapeways quality control, it means they can play in this area without, you know, too much, with very little risk. So it's about enabling what the people want, not about, you know, the revenue stream.
I just know that sometimes you deal with larger companies, and the way they approach you is not the way that, you know, that's not their intent. You know, they're just buttering you up. So I just didn't know. I just wanted to ask.
They've got a really forward-thinking team. So there's like 5 or 6 guys who are really passionate about making this idea work and exploring it and making sure that everybody's happy with it, because they're not going to, you know, they're not doing this to make a short buck. They're doing this as an exploration into a new way of making toys and making products, which has never been possible before. So why not do this properly and do it right? Like this is groundbreaking as far as IP and manufacturing product goes.
Absolutely.
And Hasbro have been very open-minded and very open to feedback. So we want to make sure that designers have as much, you know, ownership of the design as possible, and that no one gets screwed over. So, and whenever we say something to Hasbro, like, that's stepping on people's toes, they've stepped back straight away and listened and made things work. So we're also really open to feedback from you designers as well, because that's what's going to make this work.
Well, that actually leads to the next question, and this is mainly for the designers. You guys have pretty much, you know, had the freedom to do whatever you wanted, you know, as long as, you know, it was you were just doing your own thing. But now that you're, you know, it's quote unquote official, and I'm not a great big fan of that term, but now that it is official, do either of you feel a little bit of like intimidation about, you know, having to, you know, step it up a little, or have your product meet a certain standard that maybe mainstream fans are familiar with? And we can start with Fake Buster.
Well, there are a few ways to look at this. Because when I start off on a project, I always have my main buyers or my main customers, the target group, are customizers, because what Christian said is right. We are selling model kits and add-ons. We are not selling an entire figure. So the end buyer is always a customizer who is able to airbrush or paint it up. You know, you won't sell it to the mass market. It's hard. And I guess now with super fan art, there's this more eyeballs on this endeavor, and more mainstream fans will be interested. We have to find new ways of servicing their demands, you know. But for now, I think we can still stay the course and market straight to the customizers first, and we see how the technology evolves to these other guys. And also another point I like to make is most of my models, I won't say all, but most, do not like go compete directly with official Hasbro product, because I try to make things that they haven't done before, like add-on weaponry or add-on limbs but not an entire figure that they have done before. I wouldn't do a Starscream, you know.
Sure. You could even make the argument that some of your stuff might be helping sell a Hasbro product, whereas if somebody was like, well, I would get that, but I don't like the head or whatever, and then you offer that, and then they get the Hasbro product just to get, you know, to get the head as well and complete the product the way that they want it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, okay, let me bring up a counter example. Like, someone might say, hey, what about the those cassette bots that you made? I'm like, oh, well, they are for Sound Blaster or they are for Soundwave because they complement them, you know. So they are still considered add-ons.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
And Wulong.
Yep. So I agree with what Fake Busker said. I mean, certainly with this super fan art, there are definitely going to be a lot more eyeballs looking at us. So there is some pressure there to make sure that what we have is worth looking at. You know, what I've been doing so far, I think I've been doing pretty good at. And, you know, just like with Fake Busker, you know, I'm not creating anything that is in direct competition with what Hasbro's releasing. The majority of the stuff that I've been releasing has more or less been Action Masters. You know, non-transforming action figures that slavishly replicate the, you know, the character designs of, you know, Alex Milne's artwork, you know, from More Than Meets the Eye.
Sure.
And that's something that Hasbro's not going to do ever.
Yep.
I mean, they may. I mean, they're starting to get towards producing more figures that that live in that world of, you know, the comic book world, or even some that, you know, resemble those characters more so, like with the Swerve that recently came out.
Yeah.
But they're not going to make Action Masters, obviously. You know, the a lot of the little guys that I make, you know, are more roughly similar to, like, say, some of the Creons, but with a lot more detail, a lot more articulation. You know, like molded detail versus stickers, that kind of thing. And, you know, it's stuff that wouldn't be very cost effective for Hasbro to produce, you know, even if they were interested in doing something like that. So my stuff, is it going to entice somebody to go out and buy official Hasbro product? Maybe not for these particular figures, but I do have other add-ons like Fake Busker does. You know, I've got replacement heads for official figures. I've got,
really?
Yeah, I've got, you know, add-on sets for your Creons to make them into a larger, more articulated figure. But it requires, you know, you to go out and buy the Creon first.
Right.
So, so we're doing our best to try to play nice with what Hasbro does, and there's no way that we're going to be able to, you know, even, let's say, the new Tailgate figure that just came out. You know, if I wanted to produce something that was, you know, to rival that, it would be probably really wicked expensive to try to order it through Shapeways, and would require an awful lot of work on the customer's end to be able to finish the thing off. So it probably wouldn't be a very big seller.
Gotcha.
Well, to be fair, that Tailgate they made takes a lot of work to make work, and isn't that big of a seller. So
somebody's going to have.
That's just my opinion.
Greg, you want to close it out with one last one?
Yeah. Let me see. I thought that was a good ending point. Let me see. Let's see what we got still on the.
Just like a wish list, kind of.
Well, okay. See, you're not making full. Well, let's ask about outside of Shapeways. How about that? You guys are obviously fans of Transformers. I mean, you designed Transformers Park. Is there a character you'd like to eventually see made, either through Shapeways or through another company, that you haven't seen out yet? Like, do you guys have a favorite character that you haven't seen in a physical form?
Oh.
Like, I know you did the Minimus Ambus, so that's an example, but do you have any other ones that you're kind of looking forward to maybe being able to produce?
Produce ourselves, or you just would
well,
like
just
to see
in general.
out there?
In any way.
Yeah, just see out there.
I know for me, I'm definitely interested in getting or seeing a Rung figure. and there's absolutely no way that Hasbro's going to produce one, or certainly not going to have him turn into whatever the heck it is that he turns into.
Right.
They'll have him turned into like a motorcycle or something.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Wrong? I'm working on it.
No kidding.
No fair, man. I already started.
Okay, look, we can play nice, but we don't know what he turns to. So, you can have dips on the bike, and I'll probably have dips on the cigar or something. We'll play nice. But for me, I would like Alex Milne Overlord as a big. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my wish list. Yes. Who knows who will make one?
I think Masterminds has one in the works that I know that I'm looking forward to.
Has any pictures been released on that? Because the last picture I saw, it looked not that close to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was very premature. But they're doing some DJD stuff too. I don't know if you've seen.
Oh yeah. Which was fun because.
But yeah, Overlord is a character that is way overdue, especially after Last Stand of the Wreckers, like, and his popularity there. But anyway, yeah, those would be great. We would definitely be interested in a Rung or a Overlord for what it's worth. I want to make sure I thank you guys for coming out. I know you guys are both fans of the comics, so we do a segment on Shattered Cast. We just had episode 1 start recently. It's like a short series called Ask Whirl, where you can ask Whirl anything you want, as smart ass as you'd like.
That's funny. I saw that.
Whirl,
it's cool.
and Whirl answers in typical Whirl fashion. Would either one of you be interested in asking Whirl a question?
I don't have any off the top of my head, but I'll have to give it some thought.
What would he 3D print if he had access to a 3D printer?
Perfect. Perfect. We'll add it to the mix. I want to thank you guys for coming out and doing the show with us. And I just want to take a minute and say that Fake Busker, I always say Fake Buster, just rolls off the tongue. But Fake Busker is going to have something exclusive at TFCon. So if you guys are going to Chicago and partying up with Shattercast, because we will be there, definitely check him out for that. And then we talked to Wulong Toys about a lot more of his work. We'll definitely be inspired by the art of Alex Milne, and us guys here, we couldn't be more excited about that kind of news. That's right up our alley. I actually think that what they're doing is the most creative thing done in the franchise in some time, more than meets the eye.
Couldn't agree more.
I'm sorry. Can you please make an Action Master of Proud being part of Devastator, please?
Yeah, we want a Proud-Stater.
Skater.
Yeah, so you guys can make some sort of upgrade set or something. We definitely appreciate that. But yeah, I want to thank you, and Duan, thank you for facilitating this and making this happen.
Thank you for reaching out. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely, it was absolutely a pleasure. It was very, very interesting, and I hope that our listeners enjoy it as well. So thank you guys. I've
been seeing the cool Transformer stuff coming through Shapeways for a couple of years now, and so I'm glad we can make it legit. And if some of it, because it's fan art, some of it isn't Transformers. Some of it's inspired by and around, and that is completely legitimate as well. So I want to make sure that we understand that not everything has to be through Hasbro. We can do things around and outside of it as well.
Perfect.
Because, why not?
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And
Thank
we'll
you.
go back to the show.
This next one's immensely
Do we have
silly.
anything more that we want to say about Slugfest and Overkill?
I'm not going to buy it. Well, no, I'm not going to buy it.
All right.
I'll get Overkill because Thug Life.
Yeah, I'm going to get him too.
I would like good ones. You know what I mean? Like,
are you sure?
Well, no, I'm.
I can't think about it. He's like,
I remember, I most clearly remember this shit on the shelves. I remember all these tapes. I do remember that. And, I had, I've got memories of Squawk Talk and Beast Box, and I don't know. I mean, I would like to have them. I would like to see them again, but I don't want the G ones. And I don't want the KFC ones, so I'm kind of stuck. maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you nailed it on the head with the first thing you said. I would like these. I would just like good ones.
I wonder if is there going to be a company that's going to try to maybe go into the tape thing instead of take it away from KFC?
I don't know.
Exactly. That would be awesome if there was just a company that just made good tapes.
Well, shockingly enough, like KFC ended up kind of cornering the market there. Like nobody fucked with them. Like it was like the most fuck withable company, and everybody was like, oh, leave them alone. They got it.
Let them play.
Yeah, they're like Dinobots. No, fuck everybody. We're going in.
Predator King? No, we will. Everybody makes a Predator King right now.
They probably went on the philosophy of, well, you know, they told the Colonel he was crazy to open a restaurant that only served chicken. God, I'm sorry, I'm sick.
No, that's all right, man. That's still
I might be. Oh god, I might be getting off soon. This shit keeps up.
Speaking of things that people should feel sorry about, Art Studios add-on kit.
I know Antoine's excited for this.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Hey, man.
I called
Antoine, how awesome is the Motormaster face?
It sucks. No. That sucks.
He looks constipated.
It looks. Who was it that said in the chat it looked like a Minecraft face?
I did.
That's some funny shit.
You know what I see actually? The Andre the Giant Obey face. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like someone took that box and spray painted that on. Like, yep, Motormaster. And the head looks so awkwardly bad on that body. Like, it's just awful.
Is that gonna be able to transform with that big ass head?
I
mean, is that going to be possible? I mean, that's 3 times the size of his normal head. And come on.
That's what she said.
And that sword is so. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And where's the Matrix go when for Optimus Prime when he's transformed? Because that's a tiny piece of plastic.
Box, probably.
The vacuum cleaner or the trash or the 50% off bin.
Lauren testing some of my dogs.
Yeah.
The only thing I think is kind of cool about this set actually is the trailer for the figures. But
that's why you'll pay $100 for this set.
Yeah, I don't really need it.
I mean, if I do, then no.
I'll say it'd be $100.
Just give me the trailer.
No, fuck no, it's not going to be $100.
No, it can't.
Yeah, it will.
Probably about 30.
I know, man. I know.
You know what would have been what would have helped this set? I think a little bit too, though. Like, so they give you the new legs for Optimus to make his transformation, or Motormaster's transformation, look a little bit better without the feet sticking up and stupid like.
Sure.
Yeah.
But why didn't we do something like that I can put a new head on that toy? Because that head does not scream G1 Optimus. It screams like Gundam masquerading as Optimus to me. So why not a new head? Why the Matrix and why not a new head? I don't know.
Yeah,
can't do this. Not interested.
What's real interesting is that BBTS has the BTS Sonicron for $44.99 purchased.
Wow, I still have that.
I think that I think this is a cool upgrade set. If you're really committed to having this particular Optimus look better. But if you're that committed to this, not you, Antoine.
Antoine's like, fuck y'all, motherfuckers.
Antoine was
Autobot City's the shit.
Man. He was the only one that's on board for this. He said he saw that trailer, was like, damn, trailer.
Just the trailer, not the trailer for Motormaster.
No, you saw everything. You were like pre-ordered, motherfucker.
Yep.
So moving on to official news. I suppose it's in the official news at this point with the merging or the partnership between Shapeways and Hasbro. We have the I guess it's a masterpiece scaled Moonraker and Dune Racer. They're coming from who's making this one?
Well, do you remember
Dogstar?
Do you remember that we got images of this like a while back?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I guess now because of this Shapeways Hasbro handshake, it's somehow wrapped up in that. I don't really understand. But like the Beachcomber is an easy pass for me.
Yeah.
But this other one I might go in on.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the price.
Oh,
it's
the moon racer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that Countdown?
Or Raker, or whatever.
Yeah, it's Countdown. That's what he's supposed to be. It's this. I'm in the same boat. This is largely going to be dependent on the price. This is something that I can see, like, because Shapeways can do various colors, like, you know, solid colors. So this is like, cast this in red, cast this in gray, cast this in white, and, you know, very minimal painting from someone who's putting this together. You know, that aspect. So, but on the other hand, it's also a lot of parts count. So I'm not really sure what something like this on old Shapeways is going to go for.
Right.
So,
I don't consider them to be masterpiece figures at all. If anything, upscaled modern take on their freaking MicroMaster predecessors, and yeah, I could fly with that, but these are not masterpieces. What's intricate about masterpieces, the plus side about them is that they have that very intricate transformation, and they have immense posability. And then, of course, there's my favorite part about masterpieces is the hands. They're articulate. You know, they're not like molded fist in place, and that's what I'm seeing with these. So I don't even consider these to be masterpieces.
Yeah, I agree, and not to, you know, go into my other favorite franchise, but like the transformation is it's straightforward. You can see it is your standard, like, GoBot, flip the feet out, you know, pull the arms out from a side and probably flip up the head or something like that, or even maybe just even turn it around.
Leave the head. Yeah.
So,
just leave the head, you pick it up, you can see his whole body just folded up.
Yeah, so it's I agree. I would not call this a masterpiece either.
We will name this one Pilatitron.
Yeah, and if you look at the, it has to be a rendering issue, but the Beachcomber, that head, like, those glasses just look like ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it doesn't, it just, you know, it doesn't look anywhere near close enough.
That's some Mechaform stuff right there. I mean, what?
Yeah.
What?
I'll just wait till they knock it off, you know.
Yeah.
Knock off Shapeways.
Long ways. That's the knockoff Shapeways. Oh God.
In Masterpiece news, we got something that is kind of surprising, kind of not, and that is this. It's Marlboro, but it's going to be Exhaust.
Yes, you get it right. You get it. Please tell me you get it. Yeah, someone asked me why is he named Exhaust. I was like,
no, I get it.
He smokes.
And he's up for pre-order.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to go in on this.
I will go in on it if I can get it on one of the places that I was able to get Wheeljack for like $50 shipped. You know, like, yeah, I really dig the Diaclone head they have on him. I think it looks pretty awesome.
I think Wolverine looks great as a Transformer.
Exactly. So
it looked very Transformer Prime-ish to me.
Yeah, no, I can see it, but, you know, like I said, I do know where it's coming from.
I won't be surprised that, and the being Transformer Prime.
Yeah.
Then later on.
It looks like a Viacon.
Yeah, it sort of does. I can see that.
With cancer.
This is pre-ordered.
Cancertron.
Cancertron.
Just like Star Saber.
Like I said, I can't go in on this for the BBTS or TF Source asking price. Like, that's just way too much. If I can get it for a discounted or maybe knocked off, as someone might do.
I mean, you got till March. I mean, I pre-order it, and more likely I can cancel it. You know, you got till
March.
Next year. So.
March is probably not coming out till like August, the way they release things.
Yeah, that's true.
but
still, you always have time to just go back and say, do I really need this?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Is like everything that I want, I pre-order on both places. You know, like I try to get it on BBTS, hold that. And if I can get a better price, I get it and drop it off BBTS once I get the shipping notice from the Japanese place, because they'll get it before BBTS does. But in this case, like, I don't really want this like that bad that if I don't get it from one of those places, I'm going to feel I missed out. So, that said, it is pretty surprising that they've made something that references a smoking-based Transformer of the day.
We should probably mention the, that we had heard, I forget how we fucking heard this, but that somehow, some way, Repro-Labels was kind of, nudged, winked at by Hasbro, saying there will be no upgrade set for this, forever to turn a Wheeljack into.
They offered.
There you go. There we go.
I'm back. Yeah. Everybody and their moms fucking texted me and shit, and it's just fucking crashing my shit. They made a repro set for the G1 Wheeljack and the Diaclone if you wanted, whatever. And yeah, it said Marlboro on it. Or it might have just said Marlboro. But anyway, that was one of those business practices that flew in the 70s.
Right.
Doesn't fly in the modern age. So, yeah, they were told, don't do that anymore. And, it's amazing. I was looking at Facebook last night. Like, ever since this thing got revealed, like, there have been people asking Repro-Labels about, when can we expect the Masterpiece sticker set? When can you expect this? And they're like, first it was the other members of the Facebook page, and they're like, it's not going to happen, this is why. And they're like, well, why not? And then some of the designers started coming in like, well, this is why. And they're like, well, why not? like fucking Repro-Labels was like fucking trying to fuck them somehow. Like, how dare you not? Why don't you just make it say this instead? And they're like, yeah, no. Yeah, and then I think it was Craig said it best. It's like, this isn't a matter of like making your toy look better. This is a matter of making sure we don't get shut down.
Right.
Hasbro can do that.
Because I think this is one of those situations where, people, whether or not there's going to be some sort of sticker set available is a fucking, it'll tip the scales as to whether or not you buy this fucking thing. Because like if I wanted it, I gotta have those fucking stickers on it. I don't give a fuck who makes them, but I'm not gonna have them not say Marlboro.
Look, I'll tell you what you tell those guys that keep saying why not. Then it's like, look, if you want the sticker set so bad for your figure, why don't you go ahead buy some adhesive paper and start printing up your own set to see what a pain in the ass it is to fucking design these things to a bunch of whiny, ungrateful fucking people. And then you could come at me with some shit like that, because that's just freaking retarded. If they don't want to make it, they kind of want to stay out of people's side of fire, then they don't fucking need to.
Well, and here's the thing about Repro-Labels, and not to get too off topic, the thing people don't understand, Repro-Labels is that third-party company that no one called. Like, it's cool to like them. You know what I mean? Like, the same dudes that'll fucking talk shit about fan toys in the same fucking breath. I'll be like, oh, yeah, by the way, I got my Repro-Labels for blah, blah, blah today. And, like, no one wants to think that, like, it's just like fucking, what's a good example? Let me look at my shelf. It would be like if, when Mech Ideas made that Topspin and Twin Twist, they fucking were washing vegetables, while they were doing a podcast. They put a fucking, they put an Autobot logo on them. Now, I will admit that one company that made that Bumblebee and called that shit fucking Bumblebee and put a fucking Autobot logo on the box, like, they were bold.
Oh, yeah, R-Feather.
But, yeah, R-Feather. But we haven't heard anything else from them. I think they're dead. I think they got killed off by the Death Squad. But anyway, yeah, people don't think about that shit with Repro-Labels. Like, they make an unofficial product, but Hasbro turns a blind eye. More so than anybody else, because I think their product helps sell. And we talked about that earlier with some other guys that kind of do, well, whatever. It helps sell a product. And yeah, they don't want to get, like, I don't care how great of an idea it is, or how robbed you feel that you don't get this fucking add-on set for your Masterpiece figure. Boo fucking who. But that's that man's, like, well, I don't know if it's his livelihood, but that's a legacy. Like, people are going to remember Repro-Labels. They might not remember fucking XP toys, and they might not remember fucking SXFs, but they're going to remember Repro-Labels. You know what I mean? So,
well, here's another thing that is is worth thinking about, is that Repro-Labels is the king on campus, you know what I mean, but they're not the only sticker game in town. So I would imagine that somebody will make it. It's just a matter of who. So it won't be Repro-Labels though.
Finger of the butt.
There it is. And that's it. That's it really for tonight's show.
We got some questions.
But I hope you guys like
Thank
the
you
interview.
for coming out.
We do have some questions, though. From Ronnie V. As a longtime collector and fan of the comics, my favorite being G.I.Joe crossover, would it be worth a third party making a line of bots that scale to Joes that can fit in and pilot the alt modes? Who would be interested in and buy a Starscream that is a Cobra Commander as a pilot, provided they were done right, not necessarily MMC or PE quality, but close?
Nope.
Anything you want to say in addition to no?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I just think that, like, well, as much as I would love to see this happen, I think the same reason that we haven't ever seen Hasbro officially do this is because things are just going to be way too big and way too expensive. So,
I
think they look stupid too. Sorry.
Are you talking about taking a Starscream figure and put a Cobra Commander inside the Starscream's head? Like
no,
wait. He's talking about a
the
Starscream
vehicle
figure
is
that transforms
size.
big enough where Cobra Commander could actually pilot it.
Right.
Oh, like the Sky Striker.
Right, exactly. So take that Sky Striker and make it transform actually into Jetfire or Starscream or whatever. And it's just too big. I have the Sky Striker because I think it's cool. I have a couple of the crossover G.I.Joe sets, but I can't justify collecting the actual G.I.Joe vehicles because they're huge, you know. And so to get that line of characters, there would be no place in my house for them.
Could I just make a public mistake right now? Public apology. Good. I made the joke about BTS Sonic Run from Big Bad Toy Store, right? I just farted around and found one on eBay and offered the guy $30 for it, and he accepted my offer.
Hey, Oscar.
Yeah.
Can I make you feel real bad about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
BBTS was selling them for $17 at Black Friday time.
Oh, was he really?
Yes.
Oh.
You just gave that man a $13 profit.
Why did you take my offer?
Best day ever.
I think
Oscar, you're officially off the show. Take your fucking herpes-ridden ass and fucking go.
Oscar, you shouldn't be allowed to make these kind of decisions when you're this ill.
Yeah.
I know, and the wife's
not
that
God.
good.
You need to talk to your wife about that.
Real quick, I think that this would be awesome. You know, I really do. The problem is kind of like Justin said. It's either A, if you make it to a quality point where it's not going to flop all over the fucking place, it's going to be way too expensive. Or B, it's going to be cheaply made and it's going to flop all over the fucking place. Like, you can get big figures now. I mean, even like MP Grimlock and stuff. And when you're fucking around with them, it's just like, you know, like, so you imagine something a billion times bigger than that in order to fit Cobra Commander. And I think they could get away with it, like with some of maybe the bikes. You know, stuff like that. They could pull it off as like a show exclusive, like a con exclusive, kind of like they're doing with Fairborn, but make it like a transformable figure.
Yeah.
And they could pull that off. But when you get into like the big stuff, like the HISS tanks and all that shit and the fucking jets, forget about it. It's just it's either gonna be A, too expensive, or B, not good enough to even stand up.
You know what though? Along that same line of thought, I actually wouldn't mind seeing like we had who was it? Dr. Wu, who made like the partners for MP10, which was Spike and Sparkplug. Mm-hmm. I would love to see like a set of various G.I. Joe characters to that much smaller scale.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
To go and sit on my MP shelf, like that'd be sweet. I'd buy into every single one of them if someone made something that I can sit next to MP Optimus or in MP Optimus.
If you could buy them like in a set of 10 or 20.
Exactly, and they don't even need to be like. I don't need G.I. Joe articulation. Just make it stand, make its arms move a little, and it's like, it can sit down inside.
Swivel
MP10.
at the shoulder, swivel at the hip.
Exactly. And
something like the Human Alliance little figures.
Yeah. Yeah, or even like Human Alliance, but, like I said, smaller. Just make it work with that existing kind of scale that they're using around MP, and I'm in. I don't know why we don't have an MP-sized, little Dr. Arkaville or... any of that stuff at this point. It seems like, where's Chip Chase? Like, this is no-brainer. Start making these things.
Chip Chase? Well, yeah.
Yes, the Art Feather, yes, but, I'm not buying $90 gold bug that doesn't look like gold bug just to get Chip Chase.
Well, they sold them separately at one time. But,
still not happening.
I bought one separately from a guy.
I would have got it separately. I would get one separately now if it was reasonable.
Yeah, reasonably priced, absolutely. But as far as I know, I can only get it by getting Goldbug and Pass. So.
Greg, do you have any thoughts on the G.I. Joe crossover?
What Justin said. It's just not feasible. I mean, if they made one or two, yeah. But it's just like fucking anything else. If you get one, you're gonna want another. So if you get Cobra Commander, you got to get fucking Duke.
Yep.
Or Destro, depending on what side of the coin, or what side of the fucking whatever you're on. And so, like, if you get a plane for Cobra Commander, you got to get a fucking tank for Destro, and then you got to get a fucking plane for Duke, and then you got to get fucking this and that, and then I think it would just be like they would fold. I mean, I don't think enough people would be into it to support it, and I know I wouldn't be buying that.
I actually am, with this in mind, I'm interested in what that Acid Rain set or whatever. I wonder how well those are selling, which are like G.I. Joe sized characters with like a weird ass transforming vehicles, but I don't know how they're selling. I'd be interested in knowing, not that would affect my purchase. So
they look good.
Oh yeah,
kind of steep. I'm not crazy about the price tag attached.
Exactly. Yeah, and these are figures that are not, like these are completely outlandish, vehicle type modes and robot modes that don't have to try to conform to what we see in, a fiction. So, yeah, and at that price, they're even expensive. So, I don't know.
I want them to make a Megatron that transforms that will fit in Cobra Commander's hand. Yeah.
You know what's funny is
working on that.
I remember when McFarlane toys first started coming out, and like even though it was like the shittiest materials ever, like the paint jobs and stuff on them were like light years beyond what anybody else was putting into like 6-inch scale figures at the time. And we used to joke all the time about him about like man, like I wish he would make Transformers, and he'd be like, it would never happen. Because he'd be up there screaming like, I need it to be 7 stories tall and transform into a gun that fits in the palm of your hand. Same.
Now think of Spawn and make it happen, bitches.
Yeah,
McFarlane out.
Now he's crazy. He's gone off the deep end now.
Got these Spawn condoms being made.
It's crazy.
Everywhere.
Well, whatever. It's a side. That's a different podcast. But I have some funny information about him. Steve L, another friend of the show.
Gay.
What's up?
Nothing. I said he's gay.
Is he?
No, I just shouted that out. Slander, and fucking misinformation.
Anyway, Steve L is a friend of the show, and we don't fucking take anything Greg says personal. We're fucking.
Like I said in the intro, you can't tell if he likes you or hates you. Just
exactly.
No, I didn't say Steve was gay. I said McFarlane was gay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
See, you can't tell.
Yeah.
I like Steve.
Yeah, well, fuck it, McFarlane. I'll go ahead and tell the story now. He went into this like I saw him in New York Comic Con, and like he was giving this speech about Batman, and like he went off the fucking deep end, and he started talking about how shit Batman was as a character, and how great Spawn was as a character, and like people started walking up out of the show because it's like, dude, like you're talking about a character that's been around for 10 years versus one that's been around for almost a fucking century. Take it easy. He was like. I mean, he was going. It was like you could see the rage in his eyes. Like he was losing his goddamn mind. I worry about him. So Steve L asked, "Why did Twin Twist and Topspin ever? Why didn't Twin Twist and Topspin ever appear in a cartoon? Considering they were toys everyone had." I'm just going to say this about it, and I'll get out of here. But I think the reason why they were toys that everyone had was because of the price point. I think they were cheap, and as a result, parents and the cheap ass aunt and uncle could get you one for birthday or Christmas or whatever, and it's like everybody
they had the little gimmick too, the little rollback thing, and
yeah, but it was because of that, like it was because of that little just fold up mechanism that I'm guessing why it was so fucking cheap.
Oh yeah, I was surprised they didn't do recolors of that one.
They did. The Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But,
well, you got to think too, like development. If I was Hasbro and I made a character right now, I couldn't put it in next week's fucking episode of whatever. You know what I mean? Like that shit takes planning and plotting. So by the time that they had released those toys, like they would have had to have planned like 2 years in advance, or vice versa. I mean, whichever way you look at it. And you remember Topspin and Twin Twist came like after the show was over, like right at the end, like.
They did?
No, they came in 85.
No, yeah, like 85.
Yeah. That said, I think that may also be a reason. At least their red colors and stuff did. I don't know when the actual blue versions did, but finish your thought and then I'll get onto mine. So I don't trample on you.
Like I trampled on the guy before me?
Yep.
Aw.
She said, "Aw."
I'm done forever.
Oh,
I'm gonna go play with my Scoria.
The only thing I remember about the Twin Twist and Topspin figures was, when you would play with them, you make the transforming sound with your mouth, and that was the only figure that you can make it, and you wouldn't have to repeat it. Get it all in one shot. You'd be like, gong, 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 gong. Hey, the robots.
Yeah,
I do true. I like how they had that mechanism, like on the back of the head, where you could adjust the spring, or not the spring, but the timing to suit your personal needs.
Yep.
Your playtime needs. I thought that was pretty cool.
I also think that if they didn't sell well, you might have seen more of a push for them to get into the cartoon. But because they were selling so well, because of the price point, nobody really felt the need to. You had a point to make, though, Justin, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, based on just the years that the toys came out, since these are basically the second year of Transformers, you've got the show and stuff, and you got people buying into the brand at this point, so, push the more expensive toys, not necessarily the cheap ones at this point, and, hope that just the brand itself will end up selling these real cheap toys that nobody, everybody has, but nobody's heard of, at least prior to, current comics.
That's a good point. Did you have something to add, Oscar?
Well, I was about to say, who cares about these guys? They're basically dead in the comic anyway.
That's true, too.
Yeah, insensitive.
Insensitive.
If a lot of the toys from Camshaft and the whatever their names were.
Like when you say Camshaft.
I know you do. The Omnibots, those ones, they didn't have any TV shows or anything either, did they?
No, they were just middleweight.
Yeah, so.
And Run Amok.
Run Amok was in the cartoon, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were. They were.
Yeah, they were in season 3.
They appeared when Starscream took over the body of Scourge. They sounded like straight up rednecks.
And when
Yeah.
And when they stole Tridicon, wasn't it Octane stole Tridicon? They were in that episode.
Yeah, they were in season 3. Well, you had the Reflector. You had him on the show, but then you couldn't get him in the, stores.
You know what I wonder though?
Away.
Another thing I wonder is if there could have been sort of a licensing type issue to get that, because you know how the deluxe Insecticons, were they in any of the shows?
No.
Yeah, and those are Bandai molds, so maybe they were designed by a company that wouldn't actually let them be anything more than comic book material. So I don't know. It's possible.
Our last question is from James S. And he posted a picture on our Facebook wall. If you haven't liked our Facebook page, you need to do that because we're pretty active on there. And his question was, if you guys remember, it's season 3. They did this episode. Does anybody know the name of the episode offhand? No. So they did this episode where it was Octane and he was over in the Middle East, and there was a character that was an obvious spin on Gaddafi.
Yeah.
2 for the price of 1, I believe was the name of the episode.
There you go.
And Casey Kasem voiced the guy that almost made him quit doing the series overall because he was like, "I'll give you 3 camels. I will give you 7 goats. I will do anything." It's total fucking immensely offensive. At that point in time, we had shit with the Ayatollah, right?
Yeah.
Well, Casey Kasem himself was of Middle Eastern descent, so he felt.
He still did the voice though, dude. He still voiced the guy and everything, saying all that shit. So.
Man, you don't fucking like trash, but you fucking take that shit out for a living. Motherfucker had to get a paycheck.
What are your opinions on carbombya?
I am booking a flight there right now.
On the, well, I'll say this, like, I think that to me, I think it's funny. I understand it's insensitive, but I think that we live in a world that's entirely too sensitive. I went to my daughter's back to school night last night because I'm a fucking stand-up fucking parent, and it was fucking painful. It was probably the most miserable experience I've had, easily of 2014. And the principal gave a speech in the beginning of it, and she was going on, and it's like this, you don't really get to meet people anymore. It's like you meet this like representative they send where they say only nice things and they're very calm and collective about everything that they fucking say. And this lady, my daughter's school is like kind of on like a side road, and the traffic gets crazy, and the traffic at like dismissal time, it like backs up all the way out to like almost a major highway. And a lot of parents have been asking the principal, what can we do to alleviate the traffic? And the principal gave this speech about that question that was probably 20 minutes long about like, well, children are assigned to buses and bus routes, and the bus routes have a certain way of doing it. And basically what she was saying was we wouldn't have this problem if you made your kid ride the goddamn bus. But she can't fucking say that because you might hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah, pretty much. I was going to say that would, someone get all butthurt. B, that's kind of unprofessional.
Well, you don't have to say it that way, but you can say, look, the reason why we have these traffic concerns are because your children are supposed to be riding the bus and you're dropping them off and picking them up from school. If you want to alleviate the traffic, start sending your kids to school in the bus, and I guarantee you the problem will fix itself.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
PC world sucks.
Yeah, I can't stand it, dude. Everybody's so afraid to say anything. So it took this lady 20 minutes, and I'm sitting there losing my goddamn mind to just say, make your kid ride the bus like they're supposed to and stop fucking coddling them to school every fucking morning.
Yeah. America.
So that's
Cut
what I get
the
back
umbilical cord.
That's what I get back to with this is that, like, yes, it's insensitive, yes, it's this and that, but at the same time, I don't look at it as so much a racist kind of prejudice thing as much as I look at it as, look, like, we had fucking our country that was putting out this fucking show had a legitimate beef with Gaddafi at the time. Motherfuckers were blowing up cars that were associated with that individual. So therefore, it's just calling it what the fuck it is. It's not saying anything about all the people. It's not saying about all the citizens of that nation. It's just talking about these particular individuals. And so like,
Greg is very passionate. He will murder animals on this topic.
I get how it was wrong.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
And like
Matt will murder animals.
The camels and all that stuff. Yeah, that's probably a little over the top. But, the little jabs, I don't take it as a jab at all, Middle Easterners or Arabs.
I mean, like, we talk about that and being PC, we're going to go off topic of Transformers here for a second, so my apologies for A, steamrolling you. I got a little energy in me, so I'm going to make use of it. And B, we're going to go off topic of Transformers here, and, like, I reference, basically, I brought in like this VHS cassette for a history report I had to do, correct? It said, bring something from your childhood that you probably won't see again. So I found this Bugs Bunny cartoon, and I brought it in. My teacher, Dr. Troutman, was like, well, you basically failed because it's not what I meant. I go, hold on, because you're not going to see this anymore on modern-day television, especially with, this is like during the dawn of PC, like, Murphy's Law, like Dan Quayle called her like a bitch or something like that, and whatever the case may be. And so the end of this Bugs Bunny cartoon, he was singing in a barbershop quartet, except everyone was in pain face.
I gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like back then, this shit was accepted. People weren't as hurt as that. But we look at it now, it's like, whoa, that's like really fucked up. Like on a massive scale. Because that's how these
too. I mean,
no. This cartoon was made.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying about the car bomb. This was the 80s. It's a different, a different era. I mean, now you can't get away with it. But, back then,
like during World War II, they were doing cartoons where, like, the Japanese had, slanted eyes and huge buck teeth. And we're like, oh, the American gotta die. Right. They were doing that type of fucking shit. Like, it's not like something new. You know what I mean? Even now. What'd you say?
I said we're doing shows like that now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're doing it from a different angle. You know, we try to sit there and relay a message, but apparently someone's got to find some sort of, like, a good example is fucking Family Guy. When are they not insulting the Jews? You know,
everybody.
When are they not insulting blacks?
Well,
when are they not insulting Latins?
It goes outside of that too. I mean, look at like Dark of the Moon. Who was like the bad humans there? You know, like in the very beginning, it was like the Russians. You know, like it's
right.
It's media. It's what happens. It's influenced by who's perceived as quote unquote the bad guy based on where you live, and this show's coming from. You know, so it's in everything. So
people just can't take a joke anymore.
You know, I think that there is like, you know, there you can definitely overstep the boundaries. You know, like the camel bit is probably overstepping the boundaries, because now you're talking about the a cultural aspect that applies to all of the people, because the fucking animals are indigenous to the area, right? But you know, to say like, you know, there are motherfuckers blowing up cars, and exactly, you know, you know, it's like whatever. Like
I personally would like to see this come up as carbombya. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, everybody just walks on eggshells around each other because you don't want to offend anybody. But I mean, God, like I said, nobody can take a joke anymore. It's just you have to be so fucking just your asshole tightened up so bad that, you know, you just can't really be yourself around other people.
Well, let's look at you, Matthew, and Justin here. You guys work predominantly white collar gigs. You know, you can't sit there and you have to worry about sexual harassment if you so much as say the wrong joke around a female employee. You don't really know that well. Right, you know, you can't sit there and be like, you know, what's the difference between a pregnant chick and a light bulb? And your buddy's like, I don't know what. He could unscrew a light bulb, right, Lorraine? And it's just sitting there with her fucking mouth open like,
I gotta use that one. I'm gonna use that one tomorrow.
You know, and jobs like mine and Antoine's and Greg's and Bobby's that's blue collared predominantly, you know, we kind of have some leeway because, you know, and this is where we come back to stereotypes. They kind of expect us to kind of act like we're not that smart.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you know, they expect the firemen. They expect, you know, firemen or cops to sit there, or construction workers a fucking cat call a hot chick that passes by. They expect me to have an intelligent IQ of freaking 63 because I sling trash. You know, they expect Antoine to basically only be able to say his name like fucking Hodor because he works at wherever he's at. You know, they expect Greg to basically be like, yes, master, because they have him running 8 miles a fucking day. You know,
by the way, it's a true fact. I do about 8 miles in my normal day of just moving around.
And you still fat motherfucker. But I love it. But
I think that like just to piggyback off what you're saying with the you know, like I work in a place where my boss will come to me and say, hey, you know such and such? Yeah, you fucked up. You fucked it up. And you gotta correct it. You gotta correct it now, and it can't happen a fucking again. And like, okay, like that's black and white for me. I know exactly what the fuck you want from me. Do you know? Like, I appreciate that sort of approach.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never got that from you, buddy.
Do that. Yeah, I was gonna say my boss could not come up and do that.
You know, that's like you're speaking my language. Like, okay, it's black and white. You got it, sir. I will not do that again.
But Matthew's boss would be like, hey, Matt, those TPS reports came in, and I'm going to need you to come in Saturday. Yeah. How's the wife? She talk about me still? Not Matt, right? That was the Christmas party. You know, whereas gigs like, you know, Antoine and mine, we'll get fucking cursed off by some guy because, you know, they fucking stubbed their dick in a goddamn garbage disposal for all we fucking care. You know, and they take that shit out on us. Like I said, they you know, different areas, you know, different. And I can't say different structure, different folks, that doesn't apply. But you know, different areas for different people in different circumstances.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that will round it out for today. I hope you guys fucking enjoyed the interview. I know that we enjoyed it a lot, and I think we enjoyed it even more than we thought we were going to. And
are you jealous?
Shout out to all those guys, Duan and Fake Busker and fucking Wulong Toys, and
especially a big shout out to all the other podcasts they went to. Oh wait, they haven't. We're the first. Remember that.
They were very fucking cool. Like
number one.
I hope we get him back.
Like Shapeways now, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, and we're gonna get them back when this Shapeways Hasbro thing shakes out a little bit, and we're able to see what works and what doesn't. We're gonna have them back on and do a catch up. They were very, very cool. So real quick, just to give some shout outs out of the way. Shout out to Kuma Style, Mr. Duckett. He's in the middle of finishing out his third set of fucking bench presses right now, and
Matt's coming for you. Matt's coming for you.
Yeah, Matt's hell bent on getting a fellow 8-pack, just like
fucking TJ Duckett versus Deluxe arm wrestling contest.
Matt even said that it's going to be a huge ride to get to Chicago, but afterwards he's going for like a 12-mile run. Is that what you said? Something like that?
Screw that.
He said 8 miles for pansies, you know?
He has a...
He said, TJ Duckett, you want a race, bring your stroller, motherfucker.
He has a pictorial review as well as a video review, I believe, of the new Hegemon. And he's been cranking out a lot of stuff recently.
Which is awesome.
The second release of Hegemon is up, so definitely check out our buddy Kuma Style.
Yes.
Doing that. Dub K Toys for all your third party and first party needs. I am
Who took
Ratchet.
care of Sancho.
I am Ratchet for all your G1 needs. You can go to dubktoys.com or iamratchet.com, and both will facilitate you. Third party TF Crashers and TF Prototype for just being fucking awesome. And you can check them out on Facebook or tfprototype.com. And special this week, our very own Deluxe sat down with, I think, a point-and-shoot camera and a pen and pad and got himself a little review done on Thrustinator.
Yay.
And you can check that out. It's actually, I got to be honest. When I saw it was happening, I was like, okay, we'll see. And it's actually really, really well done. It's a really nice written review, and it's coming from Deluxe's standpoint on his pro Hasbro nonsense. So it's actually pretty fucking interesting into how his mind works.
Hell Hasbro, bitch.
You can go to shattercastuncut.blogspot.com or shattercast.tumblr.com and check that out, and the links are provided.
And then afterwards, go to the Facebook page and suggest further things for him to review / defend.
Exactly.
Odds are he'll have it.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Keep it to Hasbro related things.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
He's going to be doing our Hasbro stuff, and challenge him. Find like the biggest piece of shit Hasbro toy and make him fucking defend it.
Someone say Acid Storm.
So definitely. And with that being said, Oscar, take us out of here.
Justin, take us out of here.
Yeah, Justin, I'm sorry. I forgot.
You took Justin.
Oh, now I have to remember Oscar's outro. As always, you can find us on YouTube, Podomatic, iTunes, and
Facebook,
Player FM, Stitcher, Facebook, like I said.
Instagram, Facebook, fucking Twitter,
Tumblr.
Toilet paper,
Tumblr.
On everywhere. Just get in
As our
contact
good friend
with us.
Greg from Mercy
Check us out.
said, we're not in the podcast business, we're in the empire business.
Right. And as always, stay good to yourselves and each other, or something like that.
Be good to yourselves.
Be good to yourselves and each other. And for the love of
Oscar
Primus.
just hurt. Oscar hurts now. He's
You know what? You know what? These are big shoes to fill. I'm just saying.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
So
For the love of
responsibly,
Primus,
goddammit.
please collect responsibly and be good to yourselves and each other.
Even shattered.
Beautiful.
Shapeways.
White, bull, flexible plastic.
Boom, flexible plastic.